weird. That's a funny sound.
I can only hear.
Oh, is this not being sent out to you? You can't hear the music?
No.
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
Huh, you should be getting it. Oops. All right, everybody, we're getting warmed up here, doing our stretching exercises. Or at least pretending to.
Yes. Let's pod the cast.
Let's pod the cast. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. I guess we should do it, huh? Let me open my correct windows here. Hey-o, it's Finn and Doge here. I'm the one named Doge.
No,
You just look at you. Were you just admiring me?
No, I opened the
You opened the
YouTube
stream?
and it was just sounds of me stretching. It did not sound good. Yeah.
Well, you can't see what's going on.
everyone. I am Finn.
Yeah, this is Finn and Doge. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Giggling. Yeah.
This is a weekly live show we do, and that's about all you need to know. I'm just going to kill you. Our format is no format. Think about it.
The death.
Yeah, I'm kind of sleepy today. How are you doing, Finn?
Well, not sleepy yet. It's only 8 o'clock in the evening, and just getting started on the wine, and life is good. It's sunny outside. It's pretty
yeah.
good.
You're so far north. I mean, I guess it's pretty much still light here till 8, but it's getting dark by then.
Yeah, but days are pleasant this time of year because so much light going on.
It's nice. It's nice. It's been raining here, kind of gloomy, but it's good for the wildflowers that got frozen that we planted. We planted a bunch of flowers, and it's like, the instructions were like, don't plant these until after the last frost, of the season. And we planted them, and then like 3 days later, it's like, oh, frost advisory. It's going to snow, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's similar to, based on the Finnish law, you have to change summer tires on like before, I think like next Monday, and everyone basically changed their tires last weekend, and then it snowed for 3-4 days straight after that. So that's the law. That's how it goes.
Yeah, we have a similar thing, but it's just like I think it's just studded, like tires with actual like studs.
Yeah.
You can't have those on after a certain date, but nobody cares. All right.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep the subject like a secret, but I put it in the headline of the episode.
Yeah.
So we're going to do, in the show where we don't have a format, we're going to repeat a format that we've already done. Where we're going to look up things about movies and see what other people are asking about movies, and then we're going to answer those questions ourselves. We'll probably take some calls later, too, maybe when we find a good topic that we think people might want to weigh in on. So get your phones all warmed up, Get your stool, go to the closet in the hallway where the rotary phone is there with the handset, that comes off and the mic that comes out. My grandma had one of those, like when I was a kid.
Oh.
It was a closet with a phone in and a stool that you'd like pull out, and there was like a little desk there so you could like,
Wow.
write a note if somebody wanted to leave a message. Yeah, it was pretty intense. And they used to have a party line. Like I'm not that old, but you just pick up the phone and it was just like all the houses nearby you used the same line.
Oh.
So you'd have to like schedule. It's like, oh, yeah, I want to talk to whatever, my cousin. And you'd have to tell all your neighbors, like, get off the line. I'm trying to talk to Susan. I should not have given Gino this number. He just keeps trying to call in. Should we just pick? I'm just going to pick up.
God.
I'm going to merge calls here. Hello, you're on the air with Finn and Doge.
Oh, yeah, I want to talk to whatever, my cousin.
Hey.
And you'd have to tell all your neighbors, like, get out the line.
Hey.
I'm trying to talk to you.
Hey.
I should
Hey.
have given Gino this number.
I can hear you. Can you turn down the volume of the podcast and the stream in the background? All right. Who do we got on the line? I know who it is. Oh, he hung up. All right. Well, this is a disaster. Let's move on.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Gino. I know that was you. So this system isn't going to work. I'm going to have to use a different app for you, Laurie, and then just use Skype just for calls. That's what I'm going to have to do. Yeah, so we're going to have to switch you to Zoom or not Zoom, something. We'll figure it out. All right. Let's get into the questions, and then maybe we'll try and take a call again later. I did hear him say, hey.
Yeah.
A couple times. Oh, my God. He's still trying to call. All right. Let's try it one more time before we get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Hello. Are you there? Caller on the line. Why can't I hear him?
Hello.
Yeah, this is weird. Well, I could see him.
The first call was better. Oh, you can see him. Ooh.
I mean, I could see the number is on, but...
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, all right. Let's do the thing that I was saying we were going to do. Okay, so... Oh, I got to go to Google. I'm an idiot.
You try to Bing it?
It was a disaster.
By the way, Gino earlier said Yins needs to have a stripper in the room with you, preferably male.
Oh, okay. Well, my wife would probably be fine with that. Oh, no. Everything's coming up in... I don't even know what language this is. It's like Dutch. Why?
The VPN is still in the Americas.
Yeah, well, that's why it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. These are bad. I'm looking up things about movies. They're all just questions. If you say what movie is the blank, they're all just asking about songs. Yeah. How do movies... Oh, my... I should never have given Gino this phone number. It's just an unmitigated disaster. He keeps calling, and it pulls up the Skype window to the front, so I can't do what I'm trying to do. Gino, I love you, but please stop calling until we ask for calls. See, I've totally lost my train of thought. This is the best episode so far, right?
No format, no...
Okay. Here's some good stuff. So I put in how do movies, ... How do movies make money? Well, I mean, money's just a construct, so it really doesn't matter, right? I mean, that's what I say.
Who cares?
Who cares?
They don't.
Yeah. How do movies affect society? I mean,
that's a big question.
Yeah, that's a huge question. That's like, we're going to have to start talking about physics and quantum theory and the butterfly effect. And you know what I mean? That's too much for today. Maybe later after I have a couple bottles of wine or something. Oh, so I'm a dad wine drinker now. I drink dad wine.
It's dad wine.
Dad wine is like when you go to the wine store. That's what it's called, right? The wine store.
Yes.
And, everybody to a degree purchases wine based on the label,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this one looks
True.
cool, or this one looks fancy, or and
The
like
name
this.
is cool.
Yeah, the name is cool.
It's organic.
Yeah, it's natural wine, man. It's just, if you just go find it, you find a puddle of wine and you scrape it into a
You
bottle.
catch it.
Yeah, you catch it. Free range wine, man. But so I bought 2 bottles of Cabernet. One is like a Robert Mondavi. It's like aged in bourbon barrels or something, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems like a very dad wine. It's like a dad would be like, "Oh, I like bourbon, and I've heard of Robert Mondavi." And then I also bought a bottle of like Francis Ford Coppola's Cab Sauv as well, which also seems like a very dad move. It's like, "Oh yeah, apocalypse now!" Wow. Apparently his wine's supposed to be good. I've never had it. That's why I bought it. But I got home and I was like, I bought the 2 most dad wines in the entire wine store. Like when I got home, I realized I was like, I'm not even a dad. I'm dadding so hard.
But they didn't have any like sports team logos on them or anything.
Yeah. Winerade, Gator wine. Yeah. There's like Fly Eagles, Fly Pinot Grigio. Yeah. Flightless Bird, Peanut Noir. My uncle tells a really bad joke.
I'm sure.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sure he does. Yeah, it's like Peanut Noir, Peanut of the Night. That's what he calls Pinot Noir. And then I was like, well, then what's Pinot Grigio? And I was like, oh, that's greasy peanut, of course.
Yes,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Hey, Finn, how do movies make it rain?
Oh, how do they make it rain?
Can I tell you what I first thought of before you get into it? I thought they were talking about like
that's
making
the
it
first
rain,
thought I
like,
had.
like somebody throwing dollar bills at a stripper
Oh
in a
yeah,
music video or
I
something.
understand. But actually, the question is actually like.
But the question,
like, use a hose.
Yeah, right. There's a big hose in the sky. The thing about movie rain is, though, it's like 10 times harder than real rain because to get it to show up on camera, it has to be like a ton of rain to catch enough light, and actually look like it's raining. So that's why in movies, when it's like raining, people are always just like soaked, just completely drenched.
I didn't know that. Learned something new today.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Have you seen High Fidelity, the John Cusack movie?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most egregious examples of them just making it rain so hard it looks like ridiculous. It looks like everyone should be being evacuated because Chicago's about to be washed away by a major flood. He's like walking in like 4 inches of water, and the water is just like pouring off of his eyebrows, like he can barely see. It's just streaming off of his nose and like in and out of his mouth. I mean, it just looks like he's standing under a fire hose that's pointed directly down at him. Really adds to the scene, though.
Yeah, and it kind of fits the whole movie. It's because kind of carried by the songs and with that all. I don't know what I'm talking about, but and I haven't seen the movie in like 15 years, so
yeah, I haven't. I used to watch that movie a lot. It's one of my favorites. I think when I was an angsty teen or early 20s, it was like, yeah, man, I don't fit into the society neither, man.
it's a good movie.
It's good. Before John Cusack was certifiably, for sure, 100% nuts.
When did it come out?
High Fidelity came out in late 90s, early 2000s, late 90s. Oh, now that everything's in Russia, 2000. Everything's in Cyrillic. What is happening? Hey, how do movies fake amputations?
Oh, well.
I mean, I think it's just as simple as like if someone's on a table or whatever, it's like a magic trick. Huh?
They cut a hole in the table.
Exactly, yeah. And then they like put their leg through that and then they have a fake lower half of the leg or whatever. or what's the movie I'm thinking of where it's his, and you can kind of tell because in the movie it looks like his head is like this. He's like in a
different
very
angle.
unnatural, angle. And then, how do movies look so good? It's it's very complicated. It's because there's
You can answer these questions with one sentence. I guess. Yeah.
Well, money. That's the answer, right? They're spending tons of money, and there's hundreds, if not thousands, literal thousands of people working on them.
Yeah.
You know, when you're talking about big budget movies or like Star Wars, just VFX people and stuff like that. There's like half the population of like Southeastern Asia is working on them.
It's kind of amazing now that if you watch like an old movie and it's like the credits, they're like down in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then
now it's like
these days. And
the entire soundtrack.
Yeah.
There's 15 songs that play. It's like a whole album's worth of music that play during the credits.
Yeah.
And then you got to sit to the end because there could be some sort of little teaser scene there at the end. You got to stay and watch it.
No. The movie is to Google if there's one during the beginning of the credits, and then if there's not, just
yes, that's what I do. I used to use this app called Run P. Have you ever heard of that?
Well, no, but I can guess what it does.
Oh, okay. Guess what it does?
It runs your pee.
No.
No?
The whole purpose of the app was, it was like, I don't know if it was like user source content, but if you had to pee really bad while you're watching a movie, you go in, it'll have all the movies currently in theaters. You hit your movie and it'll tell you at this scene, after the person says this line, you have like 2.5 minutes where nothing really happens.
Oh,
so go run
cool.
and pee there, and you'll get back before any cool fight scenes or whatever.
Oh.
And then they would also have like, is there anything during or after the end credits? But I think
did it work? Like, did it work well? The app?
Yeah, well, when it worked, yeah, I used it for the Run P functionality during. Well, I think it was one of the newer Star Wars movies or something. Mm-hmm. Which, if you ask some people, they'll be like, "You could have just left. You should have just left. If you had to pee, just leave."
They were fine.
Yeah, they were fine. Why do movies look like movies? You know why.
Yes.
You're not going to tell us.
Because. Sure.
Well, it's the frame rate is mainly what it is. Frame rate and depth of field, right? So, TV, unless it's shot to look like a movie, which most TV is now, but like a sitcom, you know? Like even Seinfeld. Seinfeld was shot on film, but it was shot at 30 frames a second instead of 24. So it looks, the motion is more realistic, whereas when you shoot at 24 frames a second and a hand moves like this, it's blurrier. Anyway, this is not entertaining.
Very factual. We're learning things today.
Why do movies keep freezing on my laptop? That's a personal problem. I don't think that's something that I can help them.
Try turning
with.
your computer off and then on again.
Yeah,
maybe. So Gino has been hitting up the YouTube comment section.
Yeah, he has.
Also. Yeah.
Wow. Movies make people kill each other in alternate dimensions. Oh, he's talking about devs. No spoilers, Gino. If peeps were smart, they'd put T and A. My brain saw that and it said AT&T, and I was like, why would they want a phone company on the wine bottle? He just found emojis.
Oh God.
Amputations are real in the movies. Star Wars is real. Here are the credits for this podcast. Podcast is a casket and a turd. Well,
amputations are real in the movies. Well, if you watch like snob movies, maybe. Yeah. What kind of movies are you watching, Gino? Please tell us. Please don't tell us.
He only watches snuff films.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, Finn, are movies art?
Well, I know all of them aren't cinema, but I guess they are art.
Yeah, I mean, I think that having a conversation about what is art is one of the dumbest conversations you can possibly have. Because as soon as you start to define it, you've lost the point, right? The whole point is, what is it to you? Like, you know, when somebody makes art, they are making it for themselves and they're expressing something. But then after that point, once it's out in the world, the point is, okay, now you respond to it. How does it make you feel? You know, it's a way to interact in a way that's deeper than just like surface level conversations or even any kind of conversation. You know, you can express things through art in a different way and connect directly into people's emotions in a way that you can't with words, really, you know? That's my opinion. And I mean, words can be art too. There was another good one on here. Oh, are movies better than books? Don't get Mrs. Doge in here because I'll get in trouble.
Oh,
is she
no.
listening? Where is she at? Is she right behind me?
Yes.
She's been behind me the whole time. Are movies better than books? What do you think?
Well, are we talking about like straight like book to movie adaptation or just in general?
Yeah, I guess that's an
versus-
important distinction. Let's just say in general, like as a medium.
Yeah, well, as a medium, I'd say like movies are easier to digest in a way and just easier to, well, experience anyway than books in a way. And but of course, you can fill books with so many details that you can't ever get into the 2 hours of a movie. So
Right.
you know, there's
Yeah.
quite a lot of
What you said.
sites.
That's exactly what I would have said. Yeah, movies are more accessible, and as an entertainment medium, they're better. But as a way to actually fully flesh out and express some sort of alternate reality or, you know, fantasy scenario, books are way better.
Hey, let's go to this big theater and let's read books there.
Yeah. Everybody reads the same book. Oh, when you were in school, did you ever have to read a book like together in class, like out loud? Like you'd read a paragraph and then the next person in the circle would read a paragraph and
Yeah.
it just...
Sure, yeah.
I hated that.
Well, it's what it is.
Come on, man. Give me something to work with here, Finn. You're just too easygoing. How do I get you riled up?
I never had a problem with that.
Mario
Because, we
Lemieux,
didn't that
Mario
much.
Lemieux is like not even really that good, even if he had been healthy.
Well, dude, that's like your opinion, and I respect that.
No, I hated it because like the whole point of reading a book to me is like read it at your pace and like, you know, reread the parts that you need to reread and like let your mind create that world. And when someone else is reading, I'm like just sitting there like smashing my forehead on the book like speed up.
Is it like a common practice that you read through a book or?
I don't know. They just did it at my school a bunch. I don't know if that's common. I went to a small private school, so
Yeah.
yeah, we weren't allowed
But
to
I remember
dance.
like going through like a school book. We read through. Like, well, we didn't read we read like a chapter like together, but
Yeah.
sometimes. Well, it depended on the teacher, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's, you know, teachers, school, society, children.
Government. Mm-hmm.
I remember school. See, this doesn't make any sense. There's got to be some people that asked, what can movies... And I guess there's only like one answer for that. What can movies do that books can't? Huh, that's interesting. I mean, obviously they can show stuff. But I don't think there's anything else. I don't think there's any benefit they have other than actually being natively visual.
Gino is saying, Doge, you should run a loop of penguin highlights on that screen behind you. But that's where our logo is, Gino.
Yeah. I don't know if you've noticed, Gino, this show isn't 100% about the Pittsburgh Penguins. Uh-oh.
Oh, he's going.
Everybody just left. Everyone just left the stream. They hadn't noticed. and we've lost all of our viewers. This movies thing is not going well.
We had a good run there.
Yeah. Hey, when does Roblox end? Do you know what Roblox is?
No.
It's like a
Roblox
kids game. It has toy tie-ins, I think. Like, you know how they have some video games like, what is it, like Skylanders or whatever, where you buy like actual toys and you like get a code or whatever, and then that character's in your game. It's just a way to sell more stuff. Yeah. Oh my gosh. When does the hurting stop? That's the fourth highest, most searched thing that begins with when. D-O. When does the hurting stop? Wow. It's a dark time out there right now, people.
Well, is it the 1995 movie called The Hurting?
And they're wondering
when
does it stop? I've been watching this movie for like an hour and a half and it's still going.
When does Wow. Well, it's an hour and 30 minutes.
So right there. You're almost done.
Hold on.
That must be a movie. Because if you type it, where are, it says, where are you, Christmas? Which, that's the wrong word. Christmas is a when. It's not a place. Is it? Well, I mean, there are towns named Christmas.
Yeah.
Or North Pole. Where are we going, Pooh? In the woods.
Is that a movie?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. How do I
Gino
look
again?
bald? What? What now, Gino?
Have either of you had a sex change recently? What? Are you interested? You like what you're seeing?
How about just a straight body swap? You and Gino. Like, what's that movie where they pee in the fountain or whatever? Well, there's Freaky Friday.
Yeah, well,
which was old obvious. And then was remade, right?
Okay, Joey has joined the comment section, and Where Are You, Christmas is a song from the Grinch movie with Jim Carrey.
I hate that movie. Ron Howard should die in a fire. I don't mean that. I mean, maybe a little bit. Just a little.
Just die, just a little.
Yeah. I die a little inside when I see that movie, The Grinch, starring Jim Carrey. Okay, the number... I would never have guessed this literally in a billion years. If I had a billion guesses, which is only one guess per year, which would take a long time. The number one searched question on Google that starts with the words, how do I, is how do I look bald? Now, are they asking like how to procure the look of baldness? Or like I am bald.
How do you
How
look
did I
if
get
you're
this way?
bald?
Huh?
How do I look if I was bald?
Oh, or that. That's the third one. Yeah. It's like, would I look good bald? There's got to be an app for this. And
Yeah,
then they're
probably
like
is.
looking for, yeah.
Or put a swim cap on.
Yeah. Just do that. Put a flesh colored swim cap on. Or just like take your hand and push your hair back. Like it's, how do I get you alone, Finn? How do I get you alone?
Well, ask me to do a podcast.
Yeah, it was actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've learned about people from Finland. They just go along with anything. How do I breathe? You know,
Haven't figured it out yet.
yeah, if you're asking that question, I think it's too late. Oh, wow. I was typing in how do men, because I thought there'd be some interesting questions from women about like men specific stuff, like about wieners. But it's all mostly about mentalists, you know, like mind readers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
menstruation. It's nobody cares about how men do anything, but they really want to know about menstruation and mentalists. Yeah. How do menstrual cramps feel like? That's not words. I mean, it's words. It's not English. How do menstrual cycles sync up? That's interesting. I'm not going to get into it. I don't know how that happens.
Just get them close enough and
And let nature do the work. Wow. And then I typed in how do women, and one of the top things is how do women's periods sync? People really want to know. I feel like we need to do a PSA. Maybe the next episode next week is just all about menstruation cycles and how they sync up. Mm-hmm. I'll do a whole PowerPoint presentation. You can write like a score. We'll do like a 50s style like educational film, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'll wear a lab coat and like part my hair and wear horn rim glasses.
next week we're taking calls. Please call in and try to answer these.
Yeah. Hey,
Male menstruation, etc. Related questions.
Well, let's try and take a call again, even though it was a disaster before. I'm going to put the phone number up on the screen. And if you actually know how that happens, so Gino don't call in, he's going to. But if you know how cycles sync up, call us. We want to know.
Yes.
I mean, even if you don't know and you have something funny to say, I guess that's okay. But I would prefer an actual answer. But I'll live either way.
We're looking for the truth here.
Yeah, the truth is out there. Well, we're waiting for somebody to call in while the stream catches up to us. Look at some other questions here.
So we're not doing movies anymore?
No, I gave up on that. There just weren't enough questions. I mean, unless you could think of some interesting... I was just having a hard time getting interesting answers, you know? And most of the things people search about movies are like, what are the best? Oh, we're getting a phone call, not from Gino. Let's try and merge them in. Hello? Anybody on the line here? There'd be a big fat no-ski. It's really odd that it's not working. Oh, hello. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Well, I guess this doesn't work. And I don't know how to kick him off the call. I'm pretty sure that was Jovi, though.
Well, she'd know.
She would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if maybe because I'm like merging calls, it's not working. So, like I said, we're going to have to do this a different way. But at least I have I spent way too much money on they're calling in again. All right, let's try it. Merge. Hello, can you hear us? Hello, are you there? Yeah, I don't think it's working. Well,
Don't go on the call. It just rings. Do you have to pick it up somehow, or did
I
you?
did. I hit
Before we
merge calls, but
Yeah.
it's like not actually merging. And I did hear her. I heard Jovi.
Heavy breathing. Yeah,
I heard her say hello. Like
that was probably me. Hello.
maybe it was you. I swear
Yeah.
I heard her though. Oh, maybe it was you. Dang it. All right, I'm taking this phone number down.
Hey, try to call us.
No, stop it. You could try, but I'm just going to ignore it. I wonder if I could shut the phone function off. Hey, now this is what people really want to know, Finn. How do elephants get drunk?
Drunk.
Yeah.
Oh. Probably eating some.
Oh, you're going to do it with the real answer? Like old apples or
No.
whatever? Oh. What were you going to say?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Now you're not going to say anything because I attacked you already? Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, there are like, fruit trees and the fruit falls down and it like ferments on the ground and the animals eat it and they get wasted. That's a thing. That's probably how
That's how
people...
we get, like,
Huh?
drunk moves, like over here,
Yeah.
swimming over lakes.
How do elephants smell water? That's such a dumb question.
As in, like, find water.
Maybe.
Why put it that way? Just
Yeah. Yeah. Why? When do men's feet stop growing? Like, what? I think that's like a mom who has like a teenage son she has to buy new shoes for like every 3 months. And she's like, what are these friggin' feet? Stop, guys.
Are these the last shoes I ever have to buy for my child?
I don't want to buy any more sneakers for this stupid kid.
But I guess they start. Do they start shrinking?
Well, they get wider as you get older
Yeah.
because all your metatarsals and everything spread out. At least mine are. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't happen to everybody. Man, people just really want to know about menstruation-related issues. Just keep finding them. Oh, wow. Can you ever stop loving someone? That's got to be a song. Can penguins fly? Can penguins sing? Can penguins be pets?
Yes.
Can penguins bend
To
their
all of it.
knees? What?
To all of the questions.
Yes. Can penguins bend their knees? Do penguins have knees?
Yeah. Oh wow.
They probably have a knee-like thing. Penguin knees.
Like Google penguins and knees.
Yeah,
and
there's
it's all
like an
James Neal.
Oh, whoa! You got me. I'm glad I wasn't drinking.
Structural configuration of the knees of a penguin is based on the same structure of bones that give form to a human leg.
Whoa! Mind
Penguin's leg has a short
blown.
femur, knee, tibia, and fibula. The reason why their legs appear to be short and sturdy is that a large portion of their upper leg is obscured by dense feathers.
And that's been another penguin fact.
There's a photo. That's creepy.
Yeah, there's X-rays of. I could show that, but I don't want any more people to leave the stream. Yeah, I would be interested to know if penguins can clap. If they could get their little wing fins around enough to, they could clap on their sides. Yeah, I guess that's fair. If you count that,
Something.
yeah. Is there a cure for Ebola? No, I don't think so.
So we got an actual question.
Okay.
From Jovi.
Yeah.
Best disaster films to match this COVID times.
That is a good one. Thank you, Jovi. What is the best disaster film of all time?
2012.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
If you're talking about movies that are disasters,
Yeah, yeah. No. What
I
about,
haven't seen them.
well, who's that director that does all the, he did Independence Day, and Independence Day is a good one. Because that's not like a natural disaster, but it's, everything's getting destroyed. All the cities are getting destroyed by aliens and stuff. All the people have to unite against a common enemy. They are mean. Gino says they are mean. I think because I didn't take his call, but they're not working, Gino. I don't know. For some reason, when I'm merging calls, I heard you briefly, but then it dumped out. Like, Skype actually says you're still connected somehow, and I can't hear you or anything. You ever see Dante's Peak?
Actually, I just ordered the Blu-ray because my roommate really wants to see that. Yeah, probably because of the times we're living now.
Yeah.
So, but I think I've probably seen it. It sounds familiar.
Well, I don't want to talk about it if you haven't seen it then. What about Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones?
No, I don't. Volcano.
Well, apparently, Jovi, you're asking, one of us is the wrong person to ask about disaster movies. What about 2012 with John Cusack?
Yeah, yeah, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen that one either?
No.
It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. And, like, I'm going to talk about it. I don't care, because it's not...
Yeah, I'm not going to watch it.
And you can't really spoil it. You know what I mean? It's not, you can be like, oh, because everyone knows it's about the world ending. So there's a whole thing set up early on in the movie so John Cusack is divorced. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And he's sharing custody. He's a limo driver, and he's sharing custody of his kids with his ex-wife. And she's got a new husband who's played by, what's his name? The guy from As Good as It Gets.
As Good as It Gets.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's like a straight-laced, like successful, non-threatening business type guy.
Yeah.
And so they set up early on in the movie that the girl, the daughter, so there's a son and a daughter. Son's like 12. The daughter's probably supposed to be like 8 or 9. And she is still like wetting the bed. So she has to wear like diapers, like big kid Pampers to bed. They set that up early on in the movie. And it's like when they're doing it, you're just like, why are they talking about this? It's like, did you forget your pull-ups? And it's like, why is this even in the movie? Right. And then, so in the back of my head, I'm like, they had to have put it in there for a reason. Right. Like somehow her diapers like save the world or, so they talk about it and then it never comes up. The world's ending. They're flying all over the world. They end up in China where they're building this big dam and they end up in this like ark thing, like a Noah's Ark, but like fancy technological Noah's Ark. And so they survive and they're on this big boat and the whole earth is like flooded. And the sun is like, they finally open up like the deck so people can go outside and get fresh air because the storms and everything have calmed down. And the sun is setting and John Cusack's there and he's like, oh, meanwhile, the new husband of his ex-wife like gets killed. He just like gets murdered. And then they're like, oh, I guess we'll hook up again. We'll be a family. So John Cusack's there with his daughter and his son and they're like looking over the railing. And it's just like, they're like, oh, isn't this great? And then the daughter turns to John Cusack. And she's like, hey, Dad. And he's like, what, honey? No more pull-ups. Credits. End of the movie. That's the last line of the movie. They set that whole thing up just so at the end of the movie, she could be like, I don't pee my pants anymore because I survived the apocalypse. It's like, it's so bad. It's just a turd on top of that crap.
Directed
Sunday.
by the same person as Independence Day.
I think it is that guy.
Roland
Emmerich? Yeah, I believe so.
Emmerich.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like the disaster porn king.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like what he does.
I gotta say that Geostorm is decent if you're talking about disaster movies.
Is that the one with
That's also so stupid with Jerry Butler and
Yeah, I did see that. And he's like, there's people in India, and they're like, yeah, I saw that. I think I slept through. I was like dipping in and out of consciousness while it was on. Or the day after tomorrow. No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. The one with Jake Gyllenhaal, what's really cold.
Gyllenhaal, and it's really cold.
Yeah, they're in New York.
Really
Is it called The Day After Tomorrow?
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Yeah, it is called The Day After Tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I mean, it's not good, but I mean, for a disaster film.
So anyway, what is a disaster movie? What's the criteria?
I think traditionally it's like natural disasters and stuff, and especially ones on a large scale like Geostorm or 2012 or, yeah. Like, you could say Twister is like a natural disaster movie, kind of, because there's a bunch of tornadoes. But that's like a normal, like, tornadoes happen all the time. You know what I mean?
Here, so
well,
I have to take your word for it.
They don't happen here very much either where I'm at, but like half of our state was under a tornado warning like last week or watch. So warning, I think, is there is a tornado somewhere, look out. And a watch is like there could be tornadoes somewhere, look out. I always have to like...
They're hiding.
Yeah.
Stalking.
Get the dogs, get on the horses and go find them twisters.
So Joey has another question. Any movie / first date stories? Like movies you took a date to, but didn't realize what the movie was.
So, I mean, this isn't that bad, but so I'm married, and when I first took Mrs. Doge on a date, first of all, it was a blizzard. We like barely made it to the town with the movie theater. And we went to a pizza like chain restaurant, like not Pizza Hut, but a slightly nicer pizza chain restaurant. And we each ordered like a small personal sized pizza, and they came out and they were heart shaped. And the future Mrs. Doge was looking at me like,
hello,
and I was like,
boy.
No, she was like, this guy's a psycho. And I was like, I did not ask them to do this. I did not ask for this. And to prove it, the waiter came out. I was like, why are our pizzas shaped like hearts? And they're like, oh, Valentine's Day is next week, and we're just like practicing since it's a slow night. We're practicing making heart-shaped pizzas for Valentine's Day. And I was like, I really would have appreciated if you would have told us that ahead of time, because in my head, I'm like, this is the first date. Now she thinks I'm an absolute psycho. Like, she was probably expecting me to get down on one knee and propose to her, like right there on the first date. So we eat our heart-shaped pizza. It was a little awkward, but we got over it. And we went to see Juno. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
And like the first scene of that movie is like two people having awkward teenage sex, and it was just not. And then, the whole premise of it, like, it's just not a good first date movie. Like, just really not. It was bad. It couldn't have been much worse. But I didn't really know what it was about. I just had heard lots of good things, and she wanted to see it, and I was like, all right, let's go see it. And then afterwards, they're like, yeah, so I guess I'll talk to you never. Okay, bye. Then we got married like 10 years later.
You can draw a straight line from that moment to heart-shaped pizzas and getting married.
Yep, that's why it happened. How about you?
Well, I wouldn't say there's anything like movie related.
Yeah.
Like the choice of movie hasn't been an issue. But I've slept through a movie on a first date. So. That probably didn't have anything to do with the Rolling Stones, Scorsese documentary, concert, whatever.
Is that what you slept through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just tired.
I mean, I didn't really like. I didn't finish it. I was watching it on TV. Sharknado is the best worst disaster film of all time. I've never watched it. There's a guy who lives near me that's been like an extra in all of the Sharknado movies, and he tells everyone he meets like That's all he
As he
talks
should.
about. Yeah. Gino says Cloverfield is the coolest disaster film. Cloverfield is an interesting one because it's like a disaster film that's also like a sci-fi film. You know, like if you include Independence Day, then that should count too. I don't know if I saw Knowing with Nick Cage. I feel like I didn't.
I probably have. I don't know. Any Cage films are just hit or miss, and normally a miss.
Yeah.
They're an own category of disasters.
Indeed. I mean, he's just...
Gotta make the money.
Does he... Well, yeah, he spends all of his money instantly, so he's just like, yes, I will do it. What is it? $3 million? I'm in.
Got it.
Yeah. I've already spent the $3 million before the principal photography even starts. I bought another obelisk in a cemetery in New Orleans.
I shouldn't have bought that castle.
Yeah.
Dinosaur skull. I got it for cheap. $5 million.
Like,
how much does this movie make? 2.5.
All right. Can we do 2 sequels tomorrow? I need to pay for the 7-story bronze statue of me as Superman from that movie that never got made, Tim Burton's Superman.
Have you seen that glorious hair I had?
That would have been interesting, man, to see Tim Burton's Superman. That would have been awesome, I think. Because every time people have tried to do like a dark, gritty Superman type thing, it just... I don't know. The most recent ones didn't do it for me.
It'd be also been interesting that Darren Aronofsky, is that his last name?
Yeah.
But he was supposed to do the Batman movie whenever, but
yeah,
canceled. Or
I think
they wanted to cast Freddie Prinze Jr. as Batman, and the director did not want that.
Yeah. Well, that's like asking.
No, he wanted Joaquin Phoenix.
He wanted Joaquin Phoenix
as Batman, and
they were like, no, Freddie Prinze Jr. Like, what did Freddie Prinze Jr. have on the producers of that film? You know, he must have had like a tape of them at Epstein's Diddle Island or something. Because what in there? How could they possibly have thought that was a good idea? You know,
if they didn't want him to direct it anymore. So.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like asking, you know, you get somehow Stanley Kubrick come back from the dead, and you know he's going to direct a movie for you, and you're like, but it has to star that YouTube girl who just screams, the girl with the side ponytail who has like a weird speech affectation. You don't know who I'm talking about. I barely know who I'm talking about. Anyway.
Let's move on. Joby is asking. Well, he's not really asking us, but
yeah.
Do you not know where your wife is?
Gino can't find his
How
wife,
big is
apparently.
your house, Gino?
I don't think his house. You've been there. It's not that big. I think.
Well, it used to be owned by Nick Cage, and it is a castle.
Oh, okay. Well, they're just the caretakers. I thought. I didn't think that they owned it.
But it's big, nonetheless.
It is. It's a big castle.
It is a rather large castle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey man, you got any big plans for the weekend before we wrap up? Well, it's
None.
your weekend's already half over for you. So.
Yeah.
Why would you have big plans? We're all just sitting inside. I'm an idiot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, my only thing I'm looking forward to is Monday at work. I have to try to change my next Friday shift, so I may be able to play a gig in this thing sponsored by the town I live in.
Huh.
It's a kind of a quarantine, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Thing that's going to be streamed on YouTube and
Okay,
stuff.
so your town isn't like, hey, everybody, come out to the town square, celebrate the quarantine.
I really don't know the whole concept of it because I'm not like been directly asked by the people who make it happen.
Uh-huh.
So I
Would
have
you be?
secondhand information about it.
Yeah. Would you be playing like from home then, probably, or something?
No, I think the town hall or something like that.
Okay, so they're just gonna have
I don't-
like just the performers go there, and then they're gonna stream it or something.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
It's all up in the air, pretty much. So
Yeah.
what you doing?
me, I'm making pizza. That's my big project. I think we're gonna make some violet and or dandelion jelly too. That's how bored we are. We're doing like Little House on the Prairie type craft activities and stuff. Yeah, I'm making pizza dough today so that we can make pizzas tomorrow. And I actually saved an old pizza box because I'm going to go like contactless delivery, give my parents a pizza tomorrow.
Oh, that's
So I was like,
nice.
how am I going to get this over there? And then earlier in the week, I was like, well, I guess I'm going to have to order a pizza and save the box because how else am I going to get it over there, man? So I did.
You're really sacrificing yourself out there.
Oh, yeah, I'm really, laying it on the line, trying to do something nice for my folks.
That's cool, though. Great
So
idea.
that's basically it. And then we're maybe going to play some board games. Maybe we'll watch some TV. Man,
Wow.
exciting times we live in. Well,
This is just dull.
yeah. Keep your chin up, everybody. Just, just try not to drink too much. Try not to eat too much. But, like, if you want to have a beer, glass of wine, just do it. If you want to have a snack, have a snack. But maybe, like, go for a walk. Do some push-ups. Meditate. Do something good for yourself. Eat a vegetable.
Eat vegetable.
Eat a two vegetable.
Eat a two vegetable.
Eat a two vegetable. How much is it cost for you to eat a two vegetable?
Is Gino still calling you?
I don't know, probably.
Answer the phone, Jacob!
Hey, it's not even ringing now, so I don't even know. Apparently they made pizza last night and they're gonna have leftovers for lunch and then binge T friggin' V. Oh, okay. That's TV with friggin' in the middle. Well, Gino, Jovi, our entire audience, those two people, thank you.
Vlad was there also.
Vlad was there. Yeah, there were 4 people
Yeah,
viewing
he's
at some
probably
point.
still there. Excellent.
But thanks, guys and gals and others for joining us this Saturday. Yay! And like we always say, except for last time, which I forgot to say, but I'm Finn.
I'm Doge.
Scratch those, reverse it. And this has been a thing. You still didn't say it a lot. Oh, you know what? We're never doing this show again. Never. I give up.
I didn't even remember what it was. I had to wait.
You were like,
What was the word? What was the phrase? Oh, it was that. Okay.
yeah.
All right. See you later, peeps.
Bye, everybody.